Welcome to The Power and the Pain, where your past isn't your prison.
It's the fuel for your purpose.
I'm Greg Pease, combat veteran, NLP trainer, and your guide to turn trauma into triumph. This is The Power and the Pain. Let's go. Welcome back to The Power and the Pain, and today we brought another unique guest, Sarah Scott. Sarah is the owner of Stones River
Hydration and Wellness, which is an IV hydration and vitamin infusion clinic.
Beautiful, thank you. Mm-hmm. And then also
the Scout Guide Murfreesboro. I'm owner and editor, and it's an insider's guide that comes out once a year. It's launching in March, actually on Pi Day 3.14.
That is awesome.
So really, really excited about that. But it showcases and features small local businesses and nonprofits and some influencers and a lot of my favorite places around here. And it's MTSU Blue. So when you see that MTSU Blue book, saturating Murfreesboro in March, because I'm printing 17,000 copies and they're free. So I'm really hoping, the people that like to shop local, it'll get in the right hands. And I have no doubt.
Definitely. 17,000, you're getting a few out there. So how many, I know you mentioned to me, how many of major cities, how many major cities have?
Over 100.
Okay.
So Knoxville Franklin will be launching their 14th volume, which year? Same thing, they come out every year. Mm-hmm. In February of 2026, so right before my launch, Nashville Franklin will. It's in Chattanooga, Knoxville, Memphis.
Wow.
Tennessee. A lot of people that stay in like boutique type hotels or VRBOs, a lot of those will have the city guides, and they're so nice.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll see them in other cities, and they'll know.
Right.
But they've really been wanting one here.
It's
and everybody's like, why? I can't believe there wasn't one yet. And I'm like, I know.
Now it's here though. Those things are so amazing. When I travel, speaking, and we, especially with the family, and you go to the Airbnb or something, and they have, all about the local stuff. That's what you really want. Speaking of travel, I always say, the more we travel, the less ignorant we become.
This is true. Mm-hmm.
You've traveled a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Let's talk about it. So I met Sarah, for all the listeners. I met Sarah less than a month ago, I think, something like that, and just absolutely connected with her. I mean, I only know this much about her, so I'm going to be learning with you guys. But I love your energy, incredible human.
Thank you.
So, how many countries have you traveled to?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I mean, it's up there, probably over 20.
So let's back up a step then. I know you said something to me.
This dog. Come on. Go over there and do that. Sorry.
No. That's great.
She's distracting me. I'm like, I'm sure
So you shared with me an age, and you'll have to forgive me, I forget the age. At a certain age, you decided, I will do X every year moving forward. Tell me about that again. Traveling.
Like
traveling.
Well, I didn't actually plan it. It's just, I started
at
18 years old. I took a year off between high school and college.
Okay.
Got an apartment in downtown Florence in Italy. Also lived in Sicily for half that time. And I just saw, I think what it showed me was that the world is bigger than myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it does definitely, there's so many lessons to be learned. But also in my day-to-day, anything that like a smell, sometimes like exhaust reminds me of Europe, that smell. And it just takes me back. And I kind of get to relive it, here. I don't know. It completely influences every corner of my life, travel.
So how long were you over in Italy at 18?
Well, so my visa was 3 months at a time, so I couldn't stay longer than that. And I paid for it myself. with my babysitting money, and I still remember because it was a lot of money back then. My plane ticket round trip was $416.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, I didn't know I didn't have money. You know, this is before cell phones. I'd have to buy a calling card to call my parents. And, you know, some people are like, I can't believe your mom let you do that. And I'm like,
What
she didn't have a
triggered you?
choice.
What triggered you to? Was it the place? What triggered the idea that like I want to do this? Was Italy the attraction? Was it like I want to I want to go somewhere? Like what was the attraction point for the first travel?
Well, I had a guy friend that was my boyfriend in high school. I met him. He was an exchange student. And so he was in Italy.
Got it. Yeah.
We're actually still in touch. He's an international business attorney in Florence, and just killing it over there. So
That's
if
awesome.
anybody, you know, wants to take their local business international, he's like such a great resource.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm always, you know, dreaming up business ideas.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
I mean, I think Italy needs a city guide. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
So any excuse to go. But after that,
How many times? So like, I'm assuming, but let me clarify. You went back and forth to Italy.
and spent almost every summer there, like in college. So I mean,
Okay.
I was going a lot, and other countries too. I
Yeah.
just
Okay.
traveled when I was there, and it just it just felt like I had everything I needed.
Yeah.
But I had very little. So sometimes people will say like, "I wish I could do that," and I'm like, "You can, but you don't like eating sandwiches for lunch or
Right.
making your own coffee at home because you really can.
Mm-hmm.
You really can."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's how you choose to travel it.
Mm-hmm.
So once school wraps up, like how does travel continue? Because travel continued.
I
mean,
got the best job ever.
okay.
I was a nanny for David and Phyllis Vanderwater. He used to be the CEO of Columbia HCA, and I think he's still now buying and selling hospitals with Ardent Health Services. But they had the coolest house, the sweetest children, and I was the nanny for the baby. They had another nanny for the older one, and I did all of the travel with them. They had a 7-passenger Learjet, and so it wasn't it was never ever work. Never work. And I mean, I just got exposed to so many ideas and got to live through them. They were so generous with me. So I was able to continue traveling. Went to school at MTSU, second generation MTSU girl,
There you go.
and got a degree in public relations and journalism. I loved being just in the middle of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But, and then just kept on after that.
What's your first, is Stones River Hydration, or what's your first business move in America? Your launch?
Ever.
Yeah.
I did sell insurance for a little while. I thought, you know, I need to get a grown-up job, not a nanny job, because now I have a college degree. So I sold
I need to be a
insurance.
big kid.
Yeah, I got to grow up. My sister took over my nanny job, and then the kids were older, and they were like music lovers. So my sister got like all the backstage passes, front row tickets to all the music stuff.
That's awesome.
And she soaked that up. And I was selling insurance, and I was like, I shouldn't have done that. But I did meet Kelly Beam, who is the vice president of membership for the Chamber of Commerce here, and we worked together. We sold insurance together.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a very long time ago. I was probably 24-ish.
Yeah.
And yeah,
How long did you stay with insurance?
I mean, probably like a year and a half.
Okay.
My dad had got diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, and then unrelated bladder cancer, and then liver and lung cancer that had spread from his colon, and he got that twice.
Wow.
And he was essentially given about 3 months to live. I was engaged to my ex-husband. We were married 19 years. But he said, quit your job, like, be with your dad. It was a very incredible gift to be a stay-at-home fiance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
And then
I
good.
said it as a joke, but I mean, it's ridiculous. But the amount of blessing I've had, things like that. My dad was actually, Bill Wilson, Mr. Murfreesboro, wrote an article about him in the November Murfreesboro Post. And I think it's Murfreesboro Post. What's that other one? The Pulse.
Okay.
I knew that didn't sound right. It was so sweet, and I learned so much about my dad that I never even knew.
I bet
You'll
that
have
was
to
awesome.
read that.
Yeah.
And I really want you to meet my dad, and he totally deserves a spot on the couch.
Yeah.
But I don't even remember where I was going with that.
Hold on. Let's go back a second. Yeah, no. Let's go back. Okay, so blessings. We're at blessings. So you moved out of insurance. Dad was sick. Yep.
Yep. And then I was a stay-at-home mom for like the whole time, about 17 years. When I first got started, and I know you, and since I know what this podcast is about, I'm going to go back a little bit further because
Please.
I know you like the childhood trauma aspect because it makes the rest make sense.
Yeah. Well, 100%. And because, everyone listening right now, we still have some more cool things to share about you. But everyone listens right now, people with trauma are like, oh, that's awesome. You got to do that. Well, let's let them hear where it comes from.
I did not come from a broken home. I had a heck of a mom and a heck of a dad. And they're still like, I could call them for anything and they're there. And so I am very unusual in how good my family was. My mom would have, she loved to cook. So she'd have a full spread when we got home from school, clean that up, and then make dinner. That's how much she loved to cook. That's also where I got my hearty appetite and love for food. But, I couldn't have asked for better parents. But I have always been very headstrong and snuck out one night with a friend that was 2 years older than me, and she was spending the night. We had a mutual friend that was right in the middle, so it kind of like made sense, but normally my parents wouldn't let me, if I'm 12, hang out with a 14-year-old. There's just a lot of difference there. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of maturing. Anyways, that night when I snuck out, her boyfriend's friend raped me so horribly. And it really did some major damage. And I felt like I kind of made it through. But I did it a lot of the wrong ways, probably. I think the first time I ever smoked weed was I was 16, and then smoked it every single day since until I was 18. And I think my grandmother was praying for me or something. I always say that because it was like I just didn't want it anymore. Just lost the desire for it. But I did a lot of drugs in high school. And so some people will say yeah, we graduated together. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not that I just want to start with you should see me now. I'm not the wild girl that I was,
Yeah.
But I did make a lot of bad decisions based on my self-worth at that time. And so Italy and just getting away, I think that played a major factor in letting me see that there's more out there. And I remember being in Rome one time just by myself. I bought some really cool clothes. I remember this rabbit skin patch on this sweater thing, and I was just feeling so fancy. And and I had some shopping bags, and I'm by myself, and I thought, this is so cool. I'm like by myself shopping in Rome. I'm like, I was probably 20. And right after that thought, I'm like, I'm by myself in Rome, and like nobody knows where I'm at or like could find me. It was before cell phones. So there was some major, like, just good stuff happening on the inside of me, like finding my capabilities, facing some fears, understanding my independence. And I ended up doing really well at MTSU. I hadn't done so well in high school, but there's a lot going on, and I was always very social too, you know. So,
So would you like? Here's a projection from me. What would you say about me saying travel was therapy for you?
100%. Still is. I do not like not having something planned.
Yeah.
It used to be my motto, and then I got shaken up a lot over the last 5 years, and so I've just been trying to keep all the plates spinning.
Right.
But
Right.
so I haven't been as good. I have ideas, and I will make them happen. I just haven't booked anything yet, but
Well, you just got back.
I did. I just got back last week, so that's fair. But when I first got married, I knew I needed to have this conversation with my husband. So I told him what happened. I told him the guy's name, and the look on his face, it was like he went white. He said, "I know him." He's like, "I know that name. He's a physician at MMC. He was already practicing about 6 years when we got married. So he was real well established." And I'm like, it's probably one of his patients. And won't that be weird? Well, it wasn't. Someone at his work was married to this man.
Wow.
And for the next several years, I saw him at every company picnic, Christmas party. And it stirred some stuff in me.
Had to.
I mean, I thought I was home free, and then
Yeah.
I don't like looking at him. And finally, Joe, my ex-husband, he called him. He said, "I want you to stay away from my wife. Like, I know what happened." And he had remembered it way different. He said, "We were two dumb teenagers doing dumb stuff." And he said, "She was 12. And he was like, "What year is she born?" Like, I think it was a genuine shock for him. And he said, "If I have to tell her I'm sorry 1,000 times, I will." Now he's a father and has a daughter, and, so it's, I'm sure it hit home for him. I still don't want to be around him, but he did stay away from me. And he did say he was sorry. And I appreciate that. And I didn't let it bother me anymore. But after we got married, we had a boy and a girl pretty soon. They're 18 months apart, and I got pregnant about 7 months into the marriage. We were ready, though. And then I just, I had so much blessing. I felt like my life was so good. I've got 2 sisters that live here, great parents. They're great. They're so good at the grandparent role. I wanted more, and I really had a heart for adoption. I had so many. I was pretty wide open. I'll adopt a child with Down syndrome. I'll adopt a child from China. I just didn't have any real direction. And I ended up getting certified through, I think now I can't remember. But it was through New Vision. So helped start that adoption program there. And I led other people through a 6-week course for adoption.
Yeah.
And then finally found my son on a waiting child website, and he has special needs, and He was born like with amniotic banding, so he's missing the lower half of his left arm. But I printed off the picture and I took it to my husband and said, I'm like 50% sure, please do the other 50%, you know? And he said yes. And I had brought him so many kids before this, printed off their files, you know, what do you think? You know, I mean, hundreds. And when he said yes, I was like, what did I really want this? Like, oh my gosh, we're doing it,
Right.
you know?
I can only
And
imagine it's such
so,
a big decision.
yeah, a year later, we're in China for 20 days doing our adoption. And he is the neatest kid. He is really incredible. He's amazing at chess. He's a black belt in Taekwondo. Um, he's the most well-adjusted of anybody in our family, really. We say that, but, I mean, I just want to breathe his air. You know, he's that kind of kid. And he's just another blessing. We went on to, I met somebody at church one day that did homeless outreach and got really excited about it. Like, I want to come feed the homeless. Well, within a few weeks, I met a lady that was pregnant, really pregnant. And, you know, I just adopted. So I'm all about the pregnant mothers that are out here that are homeless. I'm instantly drawn in. And for whatever reason, they're drawn to me too. Well, she tells me she doesn't want to keep her baby.
Mm-hmm.
Did I know of anybody? Well, I've been having all these classes. I'm like, yeah, I sure do. And I connected them, and they did the adoption. It went great. And we also told her if she wanted to go to rehab because she was going to a methadone clinic for opiates. If she wanted to go to rehab, we would keep her other 4 children for a year with the power of attorney.
Yeah.
Not getting custody, not threatening. You owe me nothing. I'm just going to hold the space for you.
Wow.
And I wanted more children anyways. So, I mean, I took 2. Another friend took 2. The 2 that I had were 1 and 3. They were both tattooed in ink, branded to be sold.
Oh, wow.
And so I saw a side of humanity that I'd never seen before. In my city that I grew up in, there are children dealing with this. And I was like a dog with a bone. And yes, I went into the jail to speak to the biological fathers and convinced them to surrender their rights to their children. Do one good thing. Like, there's a lot of mistakes. It's water under the bridge. Give them, from here on out, a good life. Do it in love. Be their dad. That's what dads do. Dads do hard things. Parents do hard things.
Yeah.
And you do what's best for your kid. So, and also, so I ended up working for about 8 years on working the front lines with child trafficking rescues and occult crimes. And
Good.
so I learned a lot. Had like this, I just don't have a lot of fear. And it's a good thing and a bad thing. I've been in some really crazy situations. I've been in a high-speed chase with hired assassins. I've had to be blacked out with the TBI before, like where they've got my back and I have to hide. I've been in some things. Whole lot of
Sounds
things.
like it. Yeah.
And I've seen some things that just on a spiritual level that would never make sense if I described it, but life was really, really interesting. And then there was a situation that happened with a nonprofit that I was working with, and I got out of that. And I had personally fostered 43 children.
43 children. That's impressive.
From straight fresh out of the oven to 19 and pregnant.
Wow.
And so, and placed a lot of children with my friends with these power of attorney forms. Got my notary stamp so I could do these, and really saw that we were making a big difference in children's lives.
Yeah.
And I loved it because we could also equip the parents. You know, when a child goes into DCS custody, you've got a middleman. And I don't know if you know a whole lot about DCS, but it is not a well-oiled machine.
No.
I was at the time. And I wanted to encourage these parents to get better, do better, whatever that looked like for the sake of the children. But anyways, we ended up fostering a little girl that came out of room 163 at Murfreesboro Motel. There were 8 people in there, 5 adults, 3 babies. Actually fostered the other 2 babies before I got her. And she was, I mean, I think she spent most of her time on her back in a baby swing. So she didn't develop those normal developmental milestones that kids develop through, like crawling. One of the most important things that children do are crawling, because crossing the midline helps them with like action, consequence. It wires your brain. Like, the design of our bodies is really, really incredible.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It helps with reading, like left to right. There's so many things that it does, and she missed it. We went to a lot of therapy to like relearn how to crawl and reaching. She had speech therapy, physiotherapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy. I mean, I feel like we did it all with her. But I also had my other kids and other foster kids while I had her. And she ended up being with us for 5 years, and we ended up adopting her. I thought, if she goes to school, you know, we kind of need, I want her to have our last name. I mean, she's the only, we're the only parents she's ever known. So, anyways, it was a lot. I didn't feel like I was in a place to adopt. I loved fostering, and she was really difficult for me. The way that her brain was wired is like water and oil from the way my brain is wired. Same with our communication. And so, and I chose to homeschool her. I was going to force myself to feel the weight of what I chose. And I've always loved the weight, the heaviness of life, because it's grounding. And I have in the past, I haven't been able to think about it much since I've been through so many transitions, but I have felt like lightness is almost insignificant. I have correlated those two. It's not true, but in my mind, I felt like the weight of responsibility feels so good to me.
Yeah.
It grounds me. And I loved having 2 or 3 babies in my lap where I could read to them. That weight on my legs was therapeutic to me. It never felt hard. I mean, sometimes putting sunscreen on 6 kids, you know, before we get in the pool, you know, or
yeah, right,
6
right.
pajamas, 6 bags, you know, like all of these things. But I loved the weight. And there was a book that I read in college called The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera. And it's all about that. And I'll send you my favorite quote from there. But that's what it is. And of course, it's better articulated, but it makes sense. And I remember somebody telling me, like, their word for the year last year was lightness. And I'm thinking, ooh, really? You just want to kind of float around? You know, that's not really what it is, probably, but I'm still learning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is, you know, my opinions and such. I had a mentor one time ask me several years back, why I wanted to be a motivational speaker, which at the time, that's what I thought I wanted. Maybe like partially what I actually wanted, but that's how I knew it. Those are the words I knew to articulate. And so he said, why do you want to be a motivational speaker? And, I want to help other people. Oh, fine. Good job, Greg. But why do you want to be a motivational speaker? Well, I don't want them to go through what I went through. Good. Do that. But what's in it for you? Well, I'm not doing it for the money. Good. I didn't ask why you're not doing it. Why are you doing it? What do you get, Greg? And I had to really think about that question. When he asked, several years back, I was like, it really took me a moment. It was even a little bit frustrating because I'm like, I don't know, because I want to, but what do you get out of it? My mind kept going to, I'm not doing it for the money. And so I sat with it for a minute and was trying to, I was just visualizing speaking to people. And I'm like, well, what else am I getting? What else am I getting that's firing me up? And I thought about speaking one time and someone was like, I spoke one time and I think maybe it was in Dallas or something like that. And someone came up to me and said, I saw you speak in such and such and you said this and this, and it changed my life. And I remember thinking when they had shared it, I wasn't quite sure what they were even talking about. But I remember also thinking immediately after, it doesn't matter, that's what they took away. And I felt so valuable because I was the source. Yeah. So I had this realization, and so I share with my mentor at the time in the best words I can, and he shared back with me essentially, I'm paraphrasing here, but he said, okay, so it's for acceptance and validation. So your journey is one of self-love. Mm. Okay. It is. And the good news is, or in my opinion, the good news is I do find validation and acceptance by serving others. Mm-hmm. And so I get validation and acceptance. They get service. I'm aware of what's happening. Let's keep it moving while I'm on this journey of self-love.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I say all that in saying, these are, my opinions, my project, but this gave you purpose, worth. And without that feeling, that kinesthetic feeling, it's then I'm floating out in nowhere. What's my purpose? What am I, man, I need to serve. I need to help. Mm-hmm. These are my thoughts, thinking in my journey and hearing what you said. Agree. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Something
major
please.
Also happened around this time. There was a Good Friday tornado that hit Murfreesboro. I don't know if you were around then, but
what year?
2009 maybe?
Oh, not 9. Was it before the flood?
It was 2000. I really do think it was 2009. But a major tornado ripped through Murfreesboro, and my parents lost my childhood home. Wow. I mean, and then the house next to it was just completely demolished. Oh, I'm sorry. You're good. I asked you if this was the wonky one.
We just get a little far.
Okay, sorry. I know, I'm so you should have put it over here.
No.
I mean, it was unrecognizable, the house. But my parents had paid the house off when we were in high school. And they didn't have they had excellent insurance that I think was a new company. And they they made out of this. They were able to rebuild. They did lose everything, but they rebuilt their dream home. And I built mine right next door.
That's awesome.
It's so awesome because my parents are the coolest people ever, and my kids got to grow up in my mom's garden.
Yeah.
And send them outside. I'm gonna be out in the garden for a little while. Yeah. We backed up to a creek and a floodplain, I could not have ever had that without this tornado.
Yeah.
And the tornado showed us a lot. My parents will only talk about the blessings that happened. So, anyways, that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I love, I'm a bit of a cockeyed optimistic, but I mean, at all times, both sides of the coin are in existence, are both, the good and the bad, the light and the dark at all times.
uh-huh.
And, it's like, sometimes I'll share with, sometimes people, it's like, again, I said by me, like I'm a bit of a cockeyed optimistic, and, some people are like, oh, like you can't just think that it's all going to work. No, you could also think it's all going to not work.
Right.
You don't have to go that way. You got two options, but both are really always. I'm convinced. I'm convicted. Both are always in existence in every situation, in some way, somehow. Like it's always there.
You have to, because one cannot even be defined without the other.
I agree. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it reminds me of the universal law of polarity. Have you done it? I don't know if we've talked about emerald tablets. Is that anything? Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, it's Egypt stuff, but there's some universal laws in there.
It's on my bucket list. They have a new museum that's supposed to be off the charts in Egypt.
I can't wait to go. There's so much I want to see over there. It's wild, the amount of knowledge, wisdom, information that they possessed. Yeah. What do we even call it? I don't know, but they had some awareness. But the universal law of polarity or duality in that in order for anything to be whole, it's comprised of equal opposite parts. And then starting to look at things like day and night, where like we see these as two different things, but it's just varying degrees of the same thing.
Right.
The Earth just does a rotation around. So like the rotation is just the rotation. It doesn't do two things during the rotation. We have varying degrees of how light we get to see, and then we call them day and night. But again, going back to that, it's all one and the same. It's all there.
Yeah.
It's just a day.
It is.
Yeah. I love it. Your parents. So I have to make the assumption, because I'm big on this whole childhood programming thing.
Yeah.
A lot of times I talk about childhood trauma, and that's my, my heart is, but I like to tell people, like, if you're an adult and you're talking to me right now, you had childhood experiences. So you had childhood programming. That doesn't mean good or bad, just that it took place. It sounds like I have to assume your parents gave you some really good programming in which way to look at things.
Yeah, they did. And my mom, it's one of my greatest strengths, but it is almost to a fault.
Oh, the law of polarity, the varying degrees of one and the same.
Yes.
Tell us.
I mean, she never sits, ever. And I'm the same way. I have two speeds. It is on and asleep. and it takes me minutes to fall asleep. And I wake up hitting the ground running. And I don't know. I kind of wish that I had more gray sometimes. And I'm learning to do that better. But I've kind of seen my mom do that. But she is the one that will get the job done. I got that from her. She is always work. And she'll create something if it's not enough, like add one more thing. And I do that, But she's the one that can do it all, And I love being that person too. So, yeah.
Yeah.
She's definitely been a big influence. My dad has always, I would just have to say, like, he is a sweetheart. He's very diplomatic. He was always fair. He grew up super poor. Remembers getting a pair of shoes from the garbage man. But there were 5 kids. He went to White House High School and he also lived in Gainesboro for a while, but I don't know all of it, and he didn't never talks about his childhood, but he was voted as the one senior, and the teachers did this every year. The teachers would vote who gets a scholarship. My dad got it for MTSU.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was a history major, and met my mom during that time, and on a blind date. And, the rest was history, but he wanted to do things very differently, like paying his house off by the time we graduated and put all three of us through college.
Wow.
And I'm just proud of him.
Yeah.
He had an incredible work ethic. When he was diagnosed with cancer, he still worked through like most of the first rounds of chemo and stuff. You can come back up here if you're going to act right. Come on. Just like, can't promise anything. But this is my dad. We didn't like really see him for about a week. Like, he just wasn't home. And then he called a family meeting. He'd made everybody folders, had every number to call if he dies. These are going to be his pallbearers. This is the funeral arrangements. This is my life insurance information. Do you have any questions?
Wow.
And we did it, and we all asked our questions, and then he lived that day after. He was prepared, but he couldn't stay in that mindset. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I still have it. He put it in a blue folder.
Wow.
And even though I never needed it, it's one of the best gifts he had ever given me. I saw him just be so strong.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the fact that he's still alive and he's a survivor of over 20 years now is pretty cool.
Yeah. The strength in that, that's powerful.
Yeah.
So when and how, what's the trigger for Stones River hydration?
COVID.
Okay. So yeah, take me through it.
So, COVID was a mess, and there wasn't really any good solutions for if people got COVID. They really didn't want to go into the hospital because then you're isolated, and then they put you on remdesivir, which was horrible, a horrible antiviral that a lot of times would cause multiple organ failure, and then you'd end up on a vent. And it was just this cycle that's where you don't want to go, because you're also, if you don't make it, you're going to die alone. Mm-hmm. Your family can't even be there with you. Mm-hmm. It was a horrible, horrible thing. My cousin actually left her job in the hospital as an RN because she was one of the many that refused to get the vaccine and said this does not make sense. And she had this idea to do an IV hydration vitamin infusion clinic in Dixon, Tennessee. It's called Harpeth Hydration and Wellness, after the Harpeth River. Mm. She kept coming here to do me and all of my friends, and I was finally like, I think I want to do this. And my husband was a physician, so I'm like, can we do this? Because you can order anything you want. I didn't have to deal with like another medical director, and so I just did it, and it really took on. Vitamins are so powerful. Hydration is so foundational. But yeah, and then I always say Tennessee has two seasons, hot and sick. So it was a great business model.
Yeah.
And we are also just the best at it. We, I think we have 478, if I'm not mistaken, 5-star reviews.
Wow.
And I respond to every single one of them. So,
impressive.
I'm watching, and that's a lot for 3 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
So we lost our lease. Our building sold. Had to be in a temporary location for the IV clinic just bought a commercial property in February. I've gutted that. We're now at 433 East Burton.
So you guys are full in there, full speed.
Yes, and I love it. I actually hung some wallpaper yesterday. Just I'm adding a little bit here and there,
Yeah.
and
Little feng shui.
getting it to feel like mine.
Yeah.
So that feels really good. But I did something crazy because I got a divorce, or I went through a divorce, I should say, and had to sell the beach house. Nobody feels sorry for me.
Nobody feels sorry for me.
But it was
Sure,
heart wrenching.
by the way, can you guys feel sorry a little bit? No, go ahead.
They're like, sorry, you lost your beach house in the divorce.
Yeah.
But
Still,
it was really
it's a life altering
it was
event.
my getaway. I loved this place, and it was so magical, and I loved it mostly because anytime most of my friends wanted to go, they could just go.
Mm-hmm.
And it was such a way to bless people.
Yeah.
It was right on the water. I mean, I could go on and on. It was just incredible. But my last trip there, I was headed out the driveway and checked the mailbox, and there was a Scout Guide to the Gulf Coast in there. And it was the most beautiful bubblegum pink book that I have ever seen. And the photos were beautiful, and the pages were like creamy because they have cornstarch in them.
Yeah.
And the fronts are gold embossed. And I mean, I'm just like, cannot stay out of this book. And I'm like, somebody put this in the back seat because I need to drive.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
that stunning to me. By the time that I got to Buc-ee's to pump my gas for, refueling, I got that book back out. And while my gas was pumping, I got on their website and looked up how to buy a franchise. And I did. And I think, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I named my LLC New Chapter Luxury because it's a new chapter, and I wanted it to be beautiful like that book. I wanted my life to have that same impact, like, oh, wow. Like,
Yeah.
this is nice. I wanted to feel that nice.
Yeah.
And anyways, it launches in March of 2026.
I love,
It's gorgeous.
the drive is going to keep you going as far as you choose to go. And I just want to speak to you in like that, like you've made, keep going. But like you've made so much of an impact already. You've done so many amazing things and impacted so many lives already. I know I've shared with you once, Miss Sue was a person that impacted my life when I was a child and struggling. And, I really believe that if I had to pinpoint one thing on my journey, it would be Miss Sue. If I had to pinpoint one thing, I believe she bumped my course like a half a degree, and 20 years later, I was worlds apart from where I was going.
Yeah.
And you've made all those impacts. Now keep going, but I want you, I want to share. I appreciate hearing about the impacts you've made on other people's lives already.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's powerful.
It never felt sacrificial. It was just a natural flow of the blessing that I already had. My cup overflowed.
Mm-hmm.
And again, went through some really tough stuff over the last couple of years, but I dug deep. I have learned so much. It's some of the things that you really are teaching others to do, and, looking at the positive things, and even that we have a choice of what our feelings are. I'm like, no, I have a right to feel offended. Yes. I do.
Yes. Yeah.
But I also have a choice to
To
not let it
not.
bother me. and I mean, it seems like such a simple concept, but
Yeah.
it isn't.
I mean,
some
life's
people.
in session. Well, and even
I never had to. My circumstances made life good. Not my decisions. It was, some of my decisions maybe, but it really had more to do with my circumstances. Now it's my decisions. And it's fun to see what hard work does.
And for all the listeners, I think it's, well, I don't know, said by me, humble of you to say it in that manner. But ultimately, I'm going to go ahead and also just share candidly. We are always a sum total of our decisions. So yes, it was your circumstances, but it was your decisions that led to your circumstances. And again, like, I think it's a very humble way to say it. And then for the listeners, if I say it candidly, her decisions led to her circumstances. Yeah.
Okay. I'll receive that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about, so how, tell me about the guide. Like, it's launching in March, Pi Day, that I'm anchored now. How do, how do people get involved, support right now? Is it standby till March, or what's going on between now and March with it?
Well, I'm
with
in
the
production
community?
right now, so I'm super busy with all of that. Plus, I'm trying to decorate the office, and we've been slammed because we have the only bag warmer that I know of.
I can't wait.
In the area.
Next Thursday, y'all, I'm actually going the bag warmer. Go ahead.
We're gonna hook you up. That's what
I'm
I
ready.
always say.
I'm ready.
But yeah, our bags are body temperature now, not room temperature, which is about a 30-degree difference.
Yeah.
And on cold days like this, nobody wants a cold bag of
Right.
saline. But yeah, it's amazing.
So the guide, go ahead, between now and March.
Between now and March.
Like, is there anything for the community to be supporting, getting involved?
Yes, probably the website would be the best place to kind of find out a little bit. But I'm kind of laying low because
Okay.
I'm about to go big.
Okay. So you guys got to stand by for the grand opening.
I
Okay.
think closer to the time,
Right.
I'll be able to focus on socials and all of that. But that's really when it launches. It goes for a whole year, and do it again.
Do it again.
Do it again. Do it again. Yeah.
I can't wait to get in. We connected right after. I mean, I don't know. It was like a week after or something. You finished the last article and went into production. But I'm super excited to be in there next year for sure.
I already have like incredible ideas for it.
It's such a for me, like, well, the value of using them, but the other value of being inside of there as a business, when I think about it, is the idea that, so I know locals are going to have it, maybe like 17,000 of them, but,
Yes.
but then also the staple of, like, if I want my business to grow, a decent portion of these are going to be viewed by people outside of the state of Tennessee traveling here. And that's exciting to know that I'm getting eyes on from outside of the state, as a business being involved in the magazine next year.
Absolutely. And I know that you do a lot with, like, you could do a corporate event. Those, I'm sure, are super powerful for small businesses, the type of trainings that you do.
Yeah.
I also go to almost every ribbon cutting with the Chamber of Commerce. And I am already, like, picturing being able to tie that Scout Guide branded ribbon across my blue book and have a little handwritten note saying, now you're one of us.
I love it.
Small business owner to all of these ribbon cuttings. And so they will see these are the people in this community that are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
These are who we want to support. And then throughout the year, we'll have a lot, just promoting social media and networking events. And, I'm out there.
Yeah.
Always.
Getting everyone. Yeah, you're a great connector. I mean, you're mover and shaker, so you're in front of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been an honor to have you on. I love everything you're about. I love your energy. I love you as a person.
Thank you.
What do you have? Any final thoughts, words, messages? So, as you know, I believe we talked a bit about. So my audience, when I speak to my audience, I'm speaking to that group that are, for whatever reason, they're still in the dark. They're looking for a way out. They're looking for the light. Yeah. What would you?
I've
Go ahead.
been there. I didn't go through that until like my mid-40s, but I have been there. That is a horrible place to be. And you aren't stuck. Like, you don't have to be stuck. It's not going to be instant, probably, but this is not the end of the story. Like, it ain't over till it's over. That's what I would say.
I love it.
That's
Keep
what I would
fighting.
say.
It's not over until it's over, no matter what. If you woke up this morning, if you had a breath in your lungs, if you had your heart beating, it ain't over. Like, keep fighting. As soon as, you know, the old cliche, when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. There is a light. There is possibility for you. Definitely keep fighting. Make sure you like, subscribe, tell your friends, and make sure you catch us next week for the next episode.
If this hit you deep, trust that.
Your pain has power, and your story isn't over.
Follow, share, and send this to someone who you think might benefit.
I'm Greg, and this was The Power in the Pain. Keep stepping into your power.